There is a huge issue in crypto when it comes to making money. Most people, and when I say most people in this case, I mean about 9 in every 10 are likely to walk away with less than a 2x after the bull market is all said and done. But I guess more surprisingly, 6 in every 10 won't make any money at all and likely walk away with less than they put in. So the chances that you walk away with your dream of that big 20 or 30x is actually far lower than you might think, but that's only because you aren't treating crypto like you're supposed to. If I were a betting man, I'd bet that there were more than just a few issues flagging in almost all of your portfolios right now that are actually easily fixed. So let's diagnose and solve those potential issues together today, so that you can leave 2025 with a smile rather than a whole heap of regrets. And by the way, the plan isn't too panicky with what I just said. It's simply the cold hard truth with the intention to be a wake-up call for you, because if there is going to be a wake-up call in the next 2 years, now is the best time. So if at any moment you find yourself thinking, I really haven't put too much effort into this, then I want you to dig deeper. You've got to trust me here. I don't want you telling me after the bull run that you should have listened, because it hurts me just as much as it hurts you to say. And just a reminder, guys, if you do appreciate how much effort I put into this video, or you enjoy the content and wanted to say a big thank you, hit the like button. It really helps me out, and subscribe so you can achieve your crypto goals. Let me start off by saying the value you will accrue in this video will be second to none. It's probably going to be one of the best videos you've seen all year, and I know the year's only 8 days in, but basically the last 12 months, right? It's going to be jam-packed full of information and all in a very short time period as well. But the thing with that is I'm going to have to rely on you. If again, you have one of those moments where you're like, okay, I want to learn more about this, let me know in the comments as soon as you have that moment. I want to know what you're feeling and what you want to learn more of, basically. Now, I'm not going to lie, everything I do mention in this video is basically outlined right here, okay? But it is all built off my courses, okay? So my courses, they're designed, I get it, I'm shilling right now, but they're really designed to help you. They could be worth like 5 to 10 times more than what they are, and I've designed them purposely for a situation like this, where someone wants to learn something more. Everything built in this video is mentioned, like, of course, in the most amount of detail possible in these courses. The bundle, of course, you can get all these 3 for a discount. So go ahead, first link down below basically will have the courses for you. So let's not waste any time. Let's get straight into the video. Now, there is a thing in crypto where this misconception is you have to learn everything, right? It's wrong. And that's where I fundamentally went wrong when I first started in the industry. That's why I know so much, because I learned too much. You don't have to, especially if you're someone that has a family, a life, social life, whatever it might be. You can't afford to do that. So in this case, I've boiled down the most important things. So it's the foundation, the fundamentals. So from the very bottom, right, the cement that puts everything together, you have to learn, and when you invest in crypto, your risk appetite and your ROI expectations. Now, these 4 points, by the way, we will be looking in much more detail throughout this video, so don't worry, which is, again, the bottom layer. Then we have Crypto 101, touches on crypto principles and crypto issues. You're going to want to learn this, but the beauty of doing this second is you can do this while you're learning the third thing, which is Pumpamentals, learning how to actually research and what to look for in your altcoins. Meme, narrative, popularity, economics, or tokenomics, and the team. And then the last thing you should do is execution. Before you buy, work out entry levels and then an exit plan as well. Now, all of this, believe it or not, will be covered today. Again, I will try my best in this video. Again, it will be short, but I will try to fit in any sort of material I can in the description if it needs to be said in further detail. But again, you don't want to be worrying about everything else. That's the stuff you can worry about later. Once you've got the foundation, it's all said and done. Now, if you happen to tick these boxes so far, and you're like, yep, I'm all set, I'm all good, according to Kyron, well then go ahead, learn this stuff. You have the time. So first up, we have the foundation. Now, this is by far the most important thing, because without this, you will be shooting blind on a lot of the other aspects we will talk about today. And of course, I talk about this quite a bit on the channel, right? There is almost every second day I talk about something to do with risk appetite and also your ROI goals, okay? But I'm trying to drill it in your head. If you haven't done this, you really have to. If you've done it, yeah, skip ahead to the next part, that's fine. But I try to provide a different insight every time. So let's begin. Number 1, there's 2 things you have to do is assess your risk. Why is this important? Well, ultimately, if you can assess your risk now, you know what altcoins you can and can't buy. And it's important to do this now, because now we have the chance for you to still be able to sell some altcoins and buy other altcoins. We're in this weird middle ground between we're not in a real bull run, but we're also not out of a bear market either. So it's a bit of both. And with a little dip possibly coming up here soon, it's going to be an optimal time to change. So when you think about it like this, how much can you afford to lose in the bull run? And I'm not talking about, potential gains. I'm talking about if you had $10,000 today or invested, if you walked away with not making any money, but losing a certain percentage, what's your comfortable value there? If it's 50%, so if you can lose, say 50% of that $10,000 and you can't afford to lose the other 50%, well then, of course, you have to break it up into different risk categories, okay? So over here, we have the 4 that I like to pick between. We have the low risk, low reward. We have low risk, mid reward, mid risk, high reward, and high risk, extremely high reward. So they all, of course, go down in terms of like their risk. So you start with the high risk, very, very dangerous projects, right up to very low risk. Okay, they're high market cap, 25 billion and more. And of course, the reward goes up as you go down, okay? So these guys have the most possible reward, and right up to these projects over here that have low reward, but they're safer. So that kind of works in the way that you got to think about it. Higher risk, higher reward, lower risk, lower reward. So when we're saying, okay, I can afford to lose half of my portfolio, that effectively means that you can buy projects in the mid-risk, high reward, and high risk, extremely high reward, the red and yellow tier. And the ones that, of course, you can't afford to lose, you can buy between these, effectively 1 billion market caps, way up to 25 billion and more. So with that being said, the way that you can kind of distribute it and think about it in your head is wealth preservation and wealth creation. The further down you go, you're creating wealth. The further up you go, in terms of these projects like Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, and XRP, it's wealth preservation. You're, continuing to hold wealth. So we kind of work both of these hand in hand, okay? So if you can, ideally speaking, unless you're like 100% can't afford to lose anything or can't afford to lose everything, you kind of want to have a little bit of everything, okay? You want to kind of offset the gains you would miss out from these projects with these lower cap projects. And you want to, of course, offset the risk from these projects in the more safer projects over here. They work hand in hand. Now, in addition to that, that's going to give you an idea of what market cap projects can you buy, but you also need to assess your goal, and we'll get to the reason and the output here in a second. But you want to assess your goal in material terms. Don't say, hey, Karen, I want a 20x, I want a 30x, because that's the material. You still don't know what you're actually aiming for here, okay? So for me, you want to actually find a goal, a result of the bull run. Now, that's $80,000 in passive income every single year for me, which is about 4 properties worth $2.3 million. And also, I want to invest about $200,000 back in crypto in the next bear market. Also, I have to factor in about 25% tax to be safe. And so all of a sudden, all of this in material terms comes to $2.8 million. So that's how much I have to make. Now, if I invest $100,000, I have to 28x. Now, I don't have to 25x. I don't have to 30x. I have to 28x. Yeah, a little bit more is not too bad either. But again, we use this. We use the fact that, okay, maybe I can afford to have, let's say, 30% risk, and I can afford to lose $30,000 out of my $100,000 investment, in 2025. So I'll walk away with 70K. So I've lost, 30%. And in this case, we take this information, that 30% loss and this 28x, and we can create a portfolio. So it might look something like this. If it's $20,000 portfolio, whatever it is. So again, I can afford to lose 30%, so I can buy these projects. I might put 25% here and 5% here. Does depend on you. I would suggest less down here, the better, because it's like higher risk micro caps. And over here as well, 20% up here just to be guaranteed and safe with Bitcoin and Ethereum, but mainly 50% in 1 billion to 25 billion market cap projects. So we're splitting the difference in this case, 30% risk, 70% safer projects. So that is fundamental. You must do this because it will allow you to go, hey, I can't buy X project because it's too risky or too safe for what I'm looking for, and also it will or won't achieve the multiples. Now, Crypto 101 is important to do because you might overlook this as, I don't want to learn crypto, but trust me right now, it will most definitely help you along your journey. You'll be able to find projects and go, okay, that's how that project is impacting the space and why it might be more important than another project you might be looking at. So that is very, very important and valuable information, and a lot of people will disregard this. Again, you can learn this stuff as you're learning the next 2 steps. So as you're learning Pumpamentals and the execution, so step 3 and 4, you can learn this in the background. So the first thing is finding out what the industry works like, okay? So these are some of the things you want to search in Google. Again, you're going to have access to this sheet. I will make it completely free in the Discord under the Miro boards section. So jump in there and look at the sheet for obviously your own sake. But you want to search how networks look topographically, which we'll do here in a second. Why networks are different from one another. What are the different types of DLT or distributed ledger technologies? What is TPS? What is finality? And what is blockchain consensus? Now, topology is something you have to understand because you have to know how blockchain works. So projects like Polkadot, Cosmos, and Avalanche, this is their topology, right? They're all layer 0 projects, the very foundations. Now they have layer 1s, layer 2s, and dApps built upon them. So this is their ecosystem. Okay, but Multiverse X and Near Protocol, they're layer 1 projects, their ecosystem is layer 2s and dApps, or shards even. Now Hedera and Solana, these are just like single, I guess, monolithic networks. That term might confuse you. It's just a single sort of, we'll call them blockchains. So there isn't a blockchain, but a single type of blockchain. It's got no layer 2s. It can only do dApps, at least right now. But then we also have like Bitcoin, Litecoin, and controversially, at least right now, Casper, which doesn't have anything on top of it. It's just a payment network, basically, at least temporarily for Casper. So this is the difference between these. And of course, again, you can kind of pick and choose depending on which project it is. But what I want you to do as the sort of homework is go and find the projects in your portfolio and try to pin them in their different layers, right? So of course, Cosmos and Avalanche is in layer 0, so on and so forth. So the goal here is you should be able to know where an altcoin should be placed on this stack, depending on what it does and how it's deployed. Now, how it's deployed is important because something like Uniswap, for example, these guys are on many different networks. They're on all these different layer 1s, but they're a dApp, so they're not stuck on one different network. The next part of Crypto 101, we have to assess the issues crypto faces, what some altcoins do to solve the crypto issues, and what altcoins do to solve not crypto issues, but also Web 2 issues. So some important terms to search are, why are crypto networks siloed, so independent? What is interoperability? Okay, that solves this problem for starters. ISO 222 compliant altcoins, these solve basically Web 2 problems. Why do we need blockchain technology? Why do we need oracles? What are the biggest hurdles in crypto adoption? Now, it's important you search this, and I don't provide you an answer because your interpretation will be different from mine and others, meaning that you will find value in different projects, and that's the whole point of being an investor. So over here we have Chainlink and Avalanche. Now, these two networks offer different things as a service for crypto and also for Web 2. And because of what they are, they offer new solutions. Like, for example, Avalanche over here, being a layer 0, it enables ecosystems to develop, which establishes decentralized products and services. Again, it's the very foundation. It's the very framework of what can build on top of it. So it's for Web 3. And over here we have Chainlink. Okay, these guys solve both Web 3 and Web 2 problems, but also tokenization. Okay, they're creating a new Web 2 industry, effectively speaking, and actually so is Avalanche to some degree as well. So you assess these things, and that begins you down rabbit holes for your projects, because then you can say, okay, so why is an Oracle important for Chainlink? So what is Avalanche doing to support layer 0 or projects? And, how is the projects growing on Avalanche? Because that fundamentally underpins the project. You wouldn't look up how Avalanche is an Oracle service because you don't know what an Oracle is. So this is why it's very important to find issues and also how projects are integrated within crypto. Now, this is the part most people are stuck on. This is the thing that I think most people are trying to fix or should fix. And I think most of you should be trying to implement something like this into your research methods. That's the Pumpamentals. Now, crypto in 2025, we aren't focused on institutions. We aren't focused on enterprise adoption. We are focused on Pumpamentals. It's a term thrown around all the time. I'm going to break down what I interpret Pumpamentals to actually be and what my thousands of hours in research have all boiled down to. Again, I've researched a lot. A lot of that was wasted time and effort. This is really all you have to do to research correctly, as I say over here, right? So the rest of it isn't as important. You can research other metrics and stuff, that's fine, but this again is the most important, I believe. So the way it works is through 5 different aspects of a cryptocurrency, again, focused around speculation, Pumpamentals. The first thing is narrative. This is crucial, okay? Think of it like a huge magnet attracting every investor into a particular group of altcoins known for a specific thing. Some people call this a season. I call it narrative, so it could be layer 1, layer 2, oracles, tokenization, ZKPs, modularization, all these different things at one time bring people in. Memes, for example, brings people into a select group of projects. The next thing is the meme, okay? The wow factor that separates one project from the rest of the narrative bunch. So unique aspects that are easily understood are what we look for here. They have to be easily understood because we're attacking degens. 2025 is a speculation environment. We're not focusing on institutions. Again, we're focusing on degens. Degens are very basic creatures. We aren't looking for them to be wowed by highly technical things. They're being wowed by things that meme coins are wearing them out. Instant money and gains, big buzzwords. So equivalently, this is kind of like, money flowing into these projects over here, the narrative, And then why is this project bang, 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 bang sticking out to them? Like, I have to buy this now. That's the unique aspect and meme. It's really, really important. It is the most important. Next up, popularity. This is a booster. So most of the money will flow into an altcoin at a period of time from the narrative, but you'll find that random spikes happen from a popularity, or basically an announcement, wrap-up event, maybe a marketing campaign, an airdrop, something that brings people into the project and gets more eyes on it. Mina Protocol, for example, recently had a tier 2 exchange listing, I think over in Japan or Korea, and it bumped up the price 3x instantly and held the new floor, okay? So it is very important to take profits, reinvest, do whatever you really want to do. And it looks like this. So this is over here, Band Protocol. It's an Oracle network. And as we can see here, this was when Oracles all jumped up in price at this exact same time from the biggest thing of all, which is the narrative pump. That's when projects have their all-time highs. But also, you could take a profit over here, which was from an announcement. So you can see why it has a very big effect as well into the possibly sell and then reinvest later on strategy. So very, very important as well. Tokenomics. Now, we aren't looking too deep into the tokenomics here at all. We just want to find bare minimum average stuff to keep the degens happy. If the inflation is 50% or 20%, that's going to scare degens, okay? But degens love burn. Degens love, sort of deflationary aspects to protocols. Again, in this case, look for specifically what I call third parties. Basically, any money that goes to people who can sell on a dime. That's community rounds, that's airdrops, that's also venture capitals or big investors. So look for those. Find the aggregate percentage I have for Mina Protocol down here, for an example. And then, of course, figure out when they sell, which will go back into the vesting schedule. And now, I'm not going to break it down today. I've got many videos on the channel that touch on this. So if you don't know what I'm talking about here, it's okay. Let me know down below what you think, and I can make a new video on this. I probably will very soon. And it'll keep you up to speed, but subscribe so you can watch that. Now, the team as well, this is an additional booster. This actually can play back into the meme, to be honest with you, because if the team's outstanding, like Vitalik Buterin was making a new layer 1 project, that is a wow factor. But all we need for the most part is the team to be average. Now, Mina Protocol's team is strong, right, in comparison to a team in general, but versus other teams, it's just average. But that's fine, because degens aren't like, oh, they have an average team, I don't want to invest. They're looking for bad teams or great teams. So this is fine. It's not going to impact anything, basically. So I'm again going to leave this down below. So I want you to go onto this as part of your homework and just read through what I rate Mina Protocol and how I've done my research. This took me like 10-20 minutes. It didn't take long at all. You will get used to it and you'll get to figure out what sort of things have more weight than others, right? So do your research. Again, this is all laid out for you very easily. Now, another great way you can research this is my little Tinder mind map over here, right? You can basically run through and go bad narrative, good narrative, and continue down the list and rank your projects like this. It's all of this just mapped out in a nice, easy to follow format. So it's time for the execution, putting everything onto paper, making the buys, making the sells, making some money. Let's go. So execution actually isn't that hard to do. I've made many videos recently touching on these different phases, entry and exit. So fundamentally, what I'm going to do is actually tell you guys to go watch those videos. I'll leave the links down below, but I get it. You're here now. You don't want to be, pushed off to different videos. Now, I would recommend it. As you can see, these videos go for like half an hour. This one down here goes for 23 minutes for the exit plan. So again, I don't want this video to go for an hour. No one's going to watch it for an hour. So I'm not going to do it. If you want to learn how to enter entry and exit levels, go watch those. But what I will say is, for an entry level, there is a few things we have to assess. Price predictions, your ROI expectations. This is coming back here from number one, the foundations. The last 12 months of trading activity. Now, we'll use the example of Near Protocol here. Have a look at the last 12 months, see how it's gone, aka the bear market in 2023. See how it's performed, and then we can go, are we going to fall back down to a level near that, or are we kind of overextended right now? Is it even worth buying this project? Is it too gone? And also pulse on the market sentiment, right? What are the events coming up for the global market? And is there a possibility that we might actually go lower to get into those entry levels? So again, Near Protocol, good example with this situation, right? I'll be very quick with this because again, I have touched on this very, very frequently recently. And you can see the last 12 months over here, we kind of were a lot lower in price than where we are right now. However, of course, we do have the situation where the Bitcoin ETFs might push us a little bit lower, okay? So it might give us the chance to get in at $2.30 down to $1.15, okay? It might give us the chance to get in between these two levels. But again, what you have to do basically with the price prediction is, again, watch those videos, but work back from the price prediction, come down to a level in which you can realistically ladder out from max price, and then you can work out the multiples you need to get from the current price in order to get in. So basically speaking, if you were to get into Near Protocol from the current price, you are only going to get about an 8x out of the project. And if you remember back from the foundation, I'm looking for a 28x. So what you would do in a situation is just pull this down until a 28x was possible, which is roughly about this level, and that's going to be about $1 or 90 cents. So that's not possible, basically. So you want to go through these entry-level formats and just figure out for yourself if the project you're looking at is even going to hit the multiples you're chasing. And if not, move on. Otherwise, bring this level down, as you can see I've done here. But if that won't even hit in the last 12 months, like Near Protocol didn't even hit 90 cents in the last 12 months, it is not going to happen, okay? So move the damn hell on. But either way, entry levels will give you a good price. Like say you were looking for a 11x over here, you could look at this level. So you can set some buy levels up here and lower as well, so that if it does hit, you're entered. Simple as that. Now, exit in the same way. Again, I would suggest watching this video. Now, I'm going to, again, shamelessly plug here, but my courses go over this. Exit strategy is literally a 2-hour-long course. It's to the point, direct, and it's all you possibly need to know about setting this up. Well, 2.5 hours, I do lie. So it's done and dusted for you. You just follow this, you have it forever. It's for life. But I get it. None of the plugs. Free video is most definitely worth it. And I actually went ahead and built you guys a custom built GPT or AI prompt sheet. So all you'll do is copy this and fill in the little red blanks with your own information, like I've done with the example for HBAR over here, and then paste that into like Google Bard, which is completely free, or ChatGPT. Matter of fact, I do suggest you guys use Google Bard. It's way better than GPT for this. And it'll come up with exit levels for you. This is it, right? Your weighted average, it's all done in there, right? And I've got obviously all the prompts set up a certain way to give you the best outcome possible. And that's it. You just get all this information and then you plug it into your exchange. Done. Now, what we're looking for here is, again, price prediction. We have to always start there. ROI expectation, weighted average, sell levels, and investment basis. So do you want to take your investment level out? And if so, you have to plug it into one of these prompts on the GPT sheet. Basically, what it'll look like on paper, if you were to chart it all, is something like this. You have your different sell levels. You have maybe this level here, which is your initial investment out level. And you also have the amount of revenue, or profit at least, you're making in each one of these levels. So you know, hey, I can sit back, chill, relax, and I know for sure I am making, $100,000 at each of these levels, and they will hit at some point. And so you're relaxed, you're chill. Now, I know how much of a mind melt that can be, especially the execution side of things, taking it all and putting it into practice. It's difficult. So one of my partners is the guys behind me, Caleb and Brown, and this video isn't sponsored. I'm not saying this because they're paying me to say this. I am telling you this right now. There's a reason why I partner with these guys. They aren't an exchange, a typical crypto exchange like Binance or Coinbase, for example. These guys are a broker, and why that differs is you have a personal connection to one of the team members. You're assigned to 24/7 access. You have a delegate from Caleb and Brown. You can literally do anything with these guys. They're in the US, they're in most countries around the world. It's completely illegal. And of course, part of the reason why I love the fact that they're a brokerage is you can send off pretty comprehensive emails. And especially for my demographic, right? A lot of you guys are between the ages of, 35 and 65, is I know that you would love to send off an email and just have everything all included in one, right? Take basically what you're thinking and put it on paper and send it off, and it's all done automatically for you, right? The same thing can be said as well, because they do have a way to actually call. You can see Jake is my broker. I can email him, or I can call him on 2 different numbers, Australian phone number and international phone number. If he's not available for a call, I have a delegate, which will get back to me in about 10 to 15 minutes, like super, super fast, okay? And you can construct an email like this. So again, if you're someone going to yourself, there's so much I have to do, all these cell levels, figuring the math out, just use the ChatGPT prompt and then come to Caleb and Brown and just simply throw this at your broker. Look at this. This is literally an email that you can send off. Hey Jake, I want to do the following ASAP. 1, sell Chainlink at the following levels and positions of my current portfolio. I want to sell at $50, $65, $75, and $150 and sell, portions of your portfolio. I want to also, in the same step, buy 1,000 worth of Chainlink if it falls to $10, 500 if it falls to $9, and $3,000 if it falls to $7. Swap 300,000 HBAR for 20 Link. Again, 2 different chains, 2 different networks, 2 different tokens. And what they do is find the best value through a whole bunch of their market makers and OTC avenues to give you the best possible conversion rate. And so it does all of this, even if, again, it's on a whole different network. So you can swap, 300,000 HBAR for 20 Link and use the rest of the HBAR to buy as much pith. on Solana, right? 3 different networks, 3 different tokens. You can also withdraw like $10,000 and buy as much ETH with it, and then transfer the ETH to this address, okay? All in the one step. Again, you put your mind onto it. You don't have to worry about trying to fiddle around with different addresses, different networks. It's all done for you. And actually, again, I use these guys. I know for a fact that once you do get some tokens transferred to a particular address, they do a test first, make sure it's legit, make sure you're not being scammed, and then send it over. Again, this isn't something that takes like hours or days. This happens within an hour if you're onto it, right? Again, they get back to you very quickly at that. So this is by far the best thing, again, for most of you, considering that my audience is people who, I'm guessing, right, are likely aren't going to wanting to use exchanges, especially if you're from the US and you can't use some of these exchanges. 100% wouldn't recommend any other product. Now, they do offer a lot more, okay? They do offer a lot more, but this video, I don't want to go into a whole product and service breakdown. These guys are, again, a brokerage. With that, you get more updated information. They also do asset management. They have their own research firm and research wing where they go into crypto, which is a great way for newbies to learn as well. Like if I go into my own portfolio, right, you can actually have a look at their PDF here. This is a very big report, 113 pages, but you will learn not just about Caleb and Brown, but matter of fact, you will learn about different things, crypto heat map, use cases for crypto in the different industries and sectors broken down. So again, this kind of plays back into the, I guess, Pumpamentals and Crypto 101. You want to learn about these things instinctively, right, when you're in this industry. Now, when you're setting up an account, okay, I want to say for the record, if you want to set up an account, use my link down below. I am an affiliate. Of course, I'm a partner of Caleb and Brown. Now, I would say the best thing to do is to just create an account, come here and click verify now. It is very simple. You can create a business account or an individual account. Next, again, nationality, US, Canadian, Australian. You can have a whole bunch of these different countries listed over here. Put it all in. Yes, you have to KYC. Of course, that makes the most amount of sense for a brokerage. They have to still have those laws. And then from there, once you put a little bit of information in about you, it's just simply some crypto knowledge so they can best tailor their services for you. The brokerage will actually send you an email straight away, your broker at least, and say, hey, what's happening? Can I help you in some sort of way? It's all done based on this information as well. Now, again, they have their own sort of trade, so you don't have to rely on the brokerage here. You can actually go ahead and use this trade swap feature yourself. So again, this also aggregates all the best OTC deals, all the best market maker deals, and gives you the best possible price across any network, target orders. You can do it all without them, which is the real beauty of it. It's like an exchange and brokerage all meshed into one. And it's great because, again, you can go deposit fiat and you can change your currency to, again, USD. It's simple as that, guys. Now, one really remarkable thing as well, if you're kind of thinking, oh, I don't really know about this, a lot of these different sort of smaller exchanges or brokerages kind of don't really have up-to-date tokens. They do. All right, I'm going to leave it here. They do. They have Pith Network, they have Beam, they have all these new projects. When they launch for the main market, they have it here as well. So, hey, use it if you really want to have like the best experience possible. I'm suggesting it. That all being said, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope you have enjoyed. And if you have, drop a like on the video. I'm trying to provide as much value as I can. And until next time, take care.